Greetings, it's Doc Griffin, your swing surgeon director of club fitting operations, and it's time again for the doctor's house call. We're going to continue today with our club fitting series. We're on part 4. We've determined length, shaft, the frequency, the MOI, so forth and so on, and now we're going to determine the proper club head. Now there are a couple things that we've talked about in the past regarding the selection of club heads, and the first thing that I want to deal with that we've talked about before is the size. And yes, size does matter. Some guys are going to love this today. Got a little visual demonstration for you. I have 2 identical washers tied to 2 pieces of string. Okay? One's longer than the other, and I'm going to take one and just twirl it. And as you can see, it takes very little effort. I can keep it there, and it's twirling, twirling. Okay, not hard to do. Okay, now, same size washer, bigger piece of string. Huge difference in the amount of effort that it's taking me to get this washer to stay in the air and complete the circle. A lot more effort, a lot more energy. Whew. Yeah, it tires you out a little bit. Okay, so what does that demonstration prove? Basically, the further that we move the center of gravity from the axis of rotation, and let's apply that to a golf club head. Center of gravity is going to be out toward the middle of the club. Not always, but we're going to say for this practical demonstration that center of gravity is out toward the center of the club. Axis of rotation, hosel. Okay, so the further we take the toe out, the bigger we make the club. The more we're moving the center of gravity out from the axis of rotation, the more effort that it takes to get the club head to come back to square. The toe has to be moving faster in order to come around and cover the same territory and get back to square. Now, for some of you guys that have a lot of strength, good hand action, you're strong, a lot of club head speed, this isn't a big issue, but it becomes more of an issue with the senior and the lady who has a limited amount of strength, particularly in their upper body and in particular in their lower arms, wrists, and hands. If you don't have much strength, it gets hard to get that big club head square. And I have told this story before, but there may be people that haven't heard it. I had a fellow come in here that went out to Arizona to one of the bigger fitting operations, spent thousands of dollars getting his clubs done, and called me and said, I'm hitting everything right. I cannot do anything but hit it right. And he came to me, and sure enough, he hit everything right. Swing was beautiful, alignment was proper, but everything went right. Reason being, he couldn't get the toe square. And he was playing one of the national name brand clubs, big club head, latest and greatest. And I went inside and got him a muscle back blade on a shaft that was way too heavy and way too stiff. First swing, he hit a nice, soft little draw. Second swing, soft little draw. Everything from that point on, even with the wrong shaft, performed better than his big-headed clubs because it was smaller, easier for him to square up, and he wasn't leaving the club face open. And imagine what it was like when I put him in that club head with the right shaft. It was just killed it. So the size does matter. So when we're working with people, we're going to look and see their physical strength and so forth, and we're going to deal with getting the club head that they can square up. Now, there are some times where I have a conundrum when I'll have somebody that just doesn't have the physical strength to get a club head back to square, but they also have a very low club head speed, and they know they need to have a club that's got a low, deep center of gravity removed off of the club face to where the center of gravity is back, and this helps them get the ball airborne. That would be this type of club, where it's a channel back. The center of gravity is actually deeper and further off the face so that it helps get the ball airborne. So in those cases, I just have to decide which is worse, the larger head or not having a low deep center of gravity. So it just becomes, we test two different types of clubs with different shaft configurations to see what's going to be better for them. Sometimes you just have to choose the lesser of two evils, meaning that it may not always be best for them to have either, and we wind up actually building a full set of hybrids, which I have done with people that have very, very low club head speed until we get down to like 9 iron or the pitching wedge, and then we'll build an actual club iron so that they can have something to chip with. It's hard to finesse a shot with a hybrid. Muscle back versus cavity. It's an age-old question. Granted, when you take a cavity back club such as this, and you've moved the weight from the back of the club as opposed to a muscle back, does it make it more forgiving? Yes, the club manufacturers are telling you the truth. It does make the club head more forgiving because you, in essence, have increased the trampoline effect of the face in a little wider area. Trampoline, let's talk about trampoline. Big trampoline, smaller trampoline. The further you miss from the center getting out toward the springs, the less rebound you're getting. So with the larger trampoline, you can certainly miss further off center and still jump higher. However, in a golf club, what they want you to believe is that a mishit's going to fly like tens of yards further and your shot dispersion is going to be yards tighter. Well, in actuality, it's not quite that simple. We're talking about the difference of just a matter of feet between a cavity back iron and a muscle back iron, either distance or shot dispersion. So folks, don't believe it when they tell you that from what they're trying to paint the picture, that it's infinitely more forgiving. It just isn't. Cavity back versus channel back, which we were just talking about. You've got cavity back here and a channel back here. Again, it just depends on what fits the person better. We would go with a channel back with somebody who needs a little extra help getting the ball airborne. Forged versus cast. Nowadays, cast is so well done that the hot spots that used to be there in the casting process have been virtually eliminated in the top end quality clubs. So forged versus offset, there really is no advantage to getting forged over cast. There really is no advantage to have forged. Now I'm going to tell you the one key feature, design feature of a golf club that makes it where the person can play it or not play it. Pure and simple. Offset. The key to finding the club that the person can play has to be the right amount of offset. So when we're working with people, they go through the fitting process. I've watched their swings, I've seen it on the computer, how they handle the club, what they're doing at impact, how their hand action is, what their club head speed is. Then I will pick out 3 or 4 different irons that are basically the same as far as their design features with the proper offset, and then I will let them pick out which one. Notice it's based basically on which one looks better to you. No, I don't care how it feels. And I know that just raised some eyebrows. Reason being, if you hit any club in the center of gravity or the sweet spot, it's all going to feel the same. Pure and simple. Hit the club in the sweet spot, they all feel the same. So it's my job to work with you to where we get the club built to the right specifications where you can hit it in the center. So what becomes the determining feature of what club you get once I have decided, based on your fitting, what parameters or design features that the club needs to have, then it just becomes a simple matter of looks. That's it. That's it for me today on how we pick club heads. We will continue next week. Again, we thank you for your support. We appreciate it. If you have questions or answers, please feel free to email us at jgriffin@griffin.com. Do want to take one moment to tell you of a new program that we've just come out with. You know about the long distance fitting. We have just instituted mobile fitting. That's a new program whereby if you get 4 individuals in a central location that want to get fit, we will come to you. For more information on that, it's listed on our website at www.griffingolf.com. So check it out. Thanks again for your support. Look forward to working with you again next week. And remember, better golf is just a fit away.